The Orphans from Liverpool Lane. Written and read by Eliza Morton. For Joel. Prologue. November 1944. When the child was born, the sky split into bands of colour as a wintry sun set over the River Mersey, and the dust of the city glittered in the golden hue. The young woman, 10 days short of her 23rd birthday, was astonished at how this perfect thing had slithered from her as she bit into her pillow and stifled a cry of, what? Pain? Sorrow? Intense joy. It seemed miraculous that her baby, so tiny and curled, was alive. Miraculous that all this time she had kept her secret from everyone, bound by the rags tied around her body and the lies clasped tightly as iron bands around her heart. The strange, sudden love she felt for this child, squirming on the peg rug, had pulled her up short and terrified her. 9 months had passed since, under a pale moon on the stone floor of her mother's kitchen, feeling numb and cold under her bare back, with the light bulb swaying in and out of focus, she had weakened. Don't stop, she had said to the man who had promised her the world. And it was done. And now here she was, allowing herself for a moment to stare in awe at the tiny velvety miracle, before the dock bell rang in the distance and shocked her into doing what she knew she must. The park gates were shut. Snow clouds were bulking the horizon, but she would wait here on a bench with her bundle until it grew dark. St. Mary of the Blessed Angels, which she had passed so many times on her way to church, had a particular step worn smooth by time, and she knew she was one of many who had gone before her. Half an hour later, as snowflakes began to fall steadily, she kissed her baby girl's soft head for the last time and tucked the blanket around her tiny body. Each stitch of the blanket that she had crocheted herself, each coloured thread, blue, green, yellow and red, had been a stitch of love. Her heart was breaking, and it was more than flesh and blood could stand, but it was time. "Another one," said Sister Cyril, after she had answered the doorbell. "That's the 3rd this month." She bent and picked up the baby from the step as the little hands seemed to instinctively reach out for her with tiny grasping fingers and nails like butter. "She hasn't made a noise. Strange," she said to one of the sisters in the nursery. She pulled back the coverlet. "Oh, and aren't you the bonniest?" she murmured. After she had left the child to be dealt with by Sister Hilda, she walked down the dimly lit corridors, heels clacking on the polished floor, and picked up the telephone to her office. "Mrs. Warboys, I have news. A girl, and she's beautiful." Marcia and Cynthia, standing in the cold and unfamiliar dormitory room upstairs, clutching suitcases and gas masks, had heard the doorbell too. They had gone to the small attic window, hoping someone had come to collect them. That it had all been a mistake. After all, they were still dressed in their coats and hats. But all they had seen was a huddled, blurred figure scurrying away from the building, leaving footprints in the snow. "You're the new girls?" They turned and saw a slim, dark-haired girl standing in the doorway wearing a brown pinafore dress and battered plimsolls. She looked about 11 or 12, like Marcia. Her bowl haircut was, Cynthia thought, about the worst thing that could have happened to a girl her age. No one wore their hair like that nowadays, apart from girls who lived in orphanages. The girl plonked herself down on the end of one of the iron beds
Sample complete. Ready to continue?